Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isaiah, as always, and today I will be giving you the full rundown on my prediction for the 2022-2023 playoffs. Let's get into it. Starting off on Saturday midday, we have I can't speak. We have Browns Texans. This is going to be a really interesting game. We saw these teams meet earlier in the year. The Browns absolutely destroyed the Texans, but it took an Amari Cooper masterclass and no CJ Stroud for that to happen. You look at this, we're talking about a top-ranked defense here, a rising Houston team. Joe Flacco, who we know has playoff experience, he's known for his legendary playoff run, and he has continued to look great all year. He has elevated this Watson to heights Watson couldn't. So for those reasons, I'm going to take the Browns, but I love the progress Houston has made. They can easily be a contender next year. Up next, we have Dolphins Chiefs. So some of the good of this game as a Dolphins fan. Good. Chiefs run defense is bad. And this top-ranked Dolphins run offense should run through this Chiefs team. But then we got to worry about, of course, you're playing Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. It is going to be freezing cold. The weather conditions are not favorable. It's going to be an ugly game. There's going to be missed kicks, but I think when I look at this game, it comes down to what team do I believe makes the less mistakes. And although I think Miami's going to make mistakes, I think a few too many drops, few too many fumbles, missed blocking assignments by that KC offensive line that has struggled these last few weeks. And I think Tyreek Hill's going to have a big play. He's going to have one big play that's really going to be game changing. I'm taking Miami in this game. All right. Up next, we have Dallas versus Green Bay. If I'm not 100% correct on the order, it's whatever. Dallas versus Green Bay. Let's get that out of there. So, Dallas, they are one of the best teams in the league. I shouldn't have to explain this. They obviously have the problem of they are notoriously known for not being able to beat good teams, but that's just not true. They have beaten 4 playoff teams this year, so we're going to throw that out the window. And Dak Prescott is top 4 MVP candidate. One of the best quarterbacks this season. CDs and Offensive Player of the Year candidate, and that defense is still great. And to the Packers' credit, they are miles ahead of what they should be. And Jordan Love looks great, but a Joe Barry called defense I don't trust, and the youngest team to ever make the playoffs in history I can't trust going into Dallas, a place where Dallas has yet to lose a game. So yeah, taking Dallas. Up next, in the middle of Saturday, we have the Bills and the Steelers. Probably the least interesting game. No TJ Watt. That's the Steelers' best player. It's rough for them out here. I don't trust Mason Rudolph on the road in a harsh Buffalo condition to play in. It's going to be a snow game most likely. I feel like Buffalo, they won't score a lot of points, but they'll make enough stops. That defense has looked lights out these last few weeks. I'm taking Buffalo. Okay. After that, we have probably the game of the week, Lions versus Rams. The Rams have been on a hot streak, winning the last 7 of their 8 games, with their only loss being to the 1 seed Ravens, arguably the best team in the league right now. So it's a pretty quality loss to have. Every other game they've played, they've looked great. The offense has been the real highlight. Stafford, Nakua, Kupp, Kyren Williams, all great. And the Lions' run defense is great, but that pass defense is very suspect and very questionable. They let Nick Mullins have a great game against them last week. He's prone to throw more interceptions than what Matt Stafford's going to throw. But then on the flip side, you're talking about a pretty average Rams defense taking on an elite Lions offense. I think Lions will be able to hold on to the ball and try to keep it out of Stafford's hands. But I think Sean McVay is going to have a plan for Goff. He's going to make Goff throw an interception, and there's going to be something that's going to mess up the Lions' flow, going to mess up everything. I think the Rams are going to edge out this game. We'll say 31-30. Sure. Okay. And maybe a hot take for what I'm going to say about this next game. Eagles, Bucks. We're going to say it. Eagles have not looked good. And it's not, they haven't looked good to their standards. They haven't looked good. I don't care that the starters went out. They were down 24-0 with their starters playing against the Giants. They lost to Arizona. They have looked bad. Their coaching staff is arguably one of the worst in the league. Jalen Hurts is going to be either playing this game injured or not at all. And A.J. Brown's injured, Devonta Smith's injured. The injuries are stacking up. Now, on the Tampa Bay side, they are an inconsistent team with bad coaching. This is probably the worst game of the weekend. It's going to be ugly, but the weather conditions favor Tampa, and they're at home, and I feel like they are just the hotter team, which doesn't say much, but Philly has looked so bad this last week. I can't trust them. I'm going Tampa. All right. After that, we're going to move on to the AFC side of the bracket now because I don't know how these are going to be played. Ravens Dolphins. We saw these two teams play 2 weeks ago. Ravens absolutely put it on the Dolphins. Do I think it's going to be as bad this time? No. But do I think the Ravens are going to win? Yeah. I feel like the defense, they have a plan to stop Miami. The defense is great. And the offense, I trust more than KC's, and Lamar is my MVP. So yeah. Up next, we have Browns Bills. The Bills are the hottest team in football. They were 6-6 at one point after that Philly loss, have gone on to win what now would have been their sixth straight win. And this is a home game for them. It's probably going to be cold, Buffalo, all that. But Cleveland's like, they're familiar with the cold. They're from Ohio. So I don't think that's going to play too big of a factor. And the Bills are notoriously known for this is where they stop. They like to collapse in the playoffs. And this Browns defense, I trust them. I trust the Browns defense to make big plays. I think Flacco's going to throw like one or two interceptions this game, but I trust the Browns defense to make a stop. And I think Flacco will have a couple drives to separate the Browns to barely win this game. Barely. And the Browns are going to move on to the AFC Championship for the first time in who knows how long. On the other side, we have the Niners and the Rams. These are two divisional rivals. We saw this matchup twice, obviously. One of them was all backups. We're not even going to count that. Even though the Niners won pretty convincingly. This is in San Fran. Niners are coming off basically 2 weeks of rest because, they didn't have to play their starters. So I think that's going to elevate them to the next level. I think Stafford, he is prone to throwing a couple interceptions. I think the Niners are just going to dominate this game. I honestly don't think it's going to be really that close. Up next, we have Dallas versus Tampa Bay. This is Tampa Bay's chance to redeem themselves from last year's playoffs. How do I feel about that? Not great. The only reason I picked them over Philly is because I don't think Philly's been looking that great. You're going into Dallas. Dallas, at this point, would be 9-0 at home. And they're in a hot streak right now. This would be their fourth straight win. I don't think Tampa Bay is that good of a team. I think Dallas is a better coach team, a more talented team. They have the better quarterback. And, yeah, take Dallas here. Moving on to the AFC Championship. We got a AFC North battle. We have Ravens versus Browns. I'm pretty back and forth about this. These two teams met twice in the year. One was with DTR and the other was with Watson. So they haven't played Flacco yet. And I think Flacco's the best quarterback on the Browns roster. They obviously won the one game with Watson and lost the game with DTR. I think most people should know that. And the Ravens, on the other hand, are the hottest team in football right now. Have been blowing out every Super Bowl contender they have played. And I think this game's going to be close, but I think Lamar will not make the mistakes Flacco's going to make. Flacco, fun to watch, gunslinger, but in this close of a game, in this environment, I don't think he can afford to throw that interception. I don't think he can afford to take that sack. I don't think he can afford to throw to not take his check downs. I think that's going to be the difference in this game when Lamar is going to know to do that. And the Flacco Cinderella story will end there. Ravens take it. On to the other side. We have Dallas, San Fran. These teams met earlier in the year. Dallas got absolutely killed by San Fran. Am I going to let that impact my decision? A little bit. But I also have looked at the San Fran team, and I think that they're one of the most talented teams on paper. They eventually will get over this hump. Purdy, I'm not the biggest Purdy guy. I think he's a system quarterback, but that's fine. He's great in this system. Then you have Ayuk and Debo. And I don't know. The Cowboys and the 49ers have played each other the last 2 years, and every year it's been wildcard divisional NFC championship, and every year it ends in a disappointing Dallas loss. And I think the trend continues. I think Dallas is going to lose. They have their road struggles. They struggle on the road. I'm going to take San Fran. Finally, a Super Bowl rematch. I don't remember what Super Bowl it is, but it's Blackout Game Super Bowl. We have Ravens versus Niners. We saw this game on Christmas. Ravens look like a better team. I don't think Purdy's going to throw 4 interceptions again. I think they're going to learn from that game. They're going to play better. But I still think the Niners are going to be able to hold on to the ball. I think the Niners are a very not Niners. I meant Ravens. I think the Ravens are a very well balanced team. I think they have the much better quarterback in this game, and I think they're going to just edge it out against against the Niners, and the Ravens will be your Super Bowl champions. That's gonna be all. Thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.